Hey everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I want to show you how to make a change over time graph, or in terms of Google Sheets, chart with some data of plant growth. So if you look at our two data tables here, we have plant height of Brassica rapa, which is Wisconsin fast plants, under blue light and under red light. And we did it for 10 days, and we had 10 plants in each group. So a total of 20 plants. Ideally, each group should have about 30 plants, but we're going to go with those. So at the end of the column here, I have a mean value for the plant growth for day one. And to do that, to get this value right here, let me just delete it real quick. We can simply highlight this whole row here, and then come to this symbol here, choose average, hit enter, and we have it. If these numbers weren't there, we can then take this, hit that little, click on that little square, and just drag that down, and we have the averages. So now what I did was I took this column and put it into another data table, kind of summarizing those two things. We have the days and the plant height average for each day here. So to do our graph, we simply highlight our data, come up here to insert chart, and we have move it over here. We have our, I'll just cover it up. We have our chart there. Now, I don't like, this is not the chart that we want. So we're going to choose a scatter right here and there. Look at that. We have these nice lines, nice dots showing a really good line there. Now, we got a little problem here. So under customize, notice our red light is blue and our blue light is red. So that's bad. So we can go to customize, we can click on series, and we can choose red light. We can change the color to red, go to blue light, and change that color to blue. So now at least the colors represent on the data, on the graph, the actual colors that we're working with. Our title could be a little better. So we could just double click on it, and we can create whatever title we want. And we also need to work on our axes. So days, that looks pretty good down here. But over here, we need to add something. So we're going to go to, let's see, click on this. We will choose our vertical axis, and we'll type in plant growth in centimeters. Now we have it. So not a bad looking graph. Now we can add a little bit more to it to make it better. And we can scroll down to, go to series, and down here at the bottom, we can add a trend line. So now we see, we're going to add a trend line for both of them. So now we see trend lines that are running through our data, and then they look pretty good. One more little thing that we can add is we can add an R squared value. And we see up here we have R squared values for both the red and the blue. And both these numbers are pretty close to 1. That's really good. It'll be really close to 1 or really close to -1 if most of the dots pretty much are very close to the actual trend line. So I'm going to show you how it could be different. If I move this out of the way here, watch what happens when I change these values for the red light. Watch what happens to the dots, watch what happens to the trend line, and see how the R squared value changes. I'm just going to throw in some random numbers. All right, so the dots are all over the place, and our trend line is almost horizontal. And notice here, our R squared value is now 0.061, so not showing how the data is correlated very well to each other. So, and let's just kind of go back to the way it was, because that looked much better. So a little bit on how to create a change over time graph.